Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a look at some great One Piece news. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I've left you hanging for a little while, and it's not deliberate, to be clear. I've been left hanging too. Because you see, I told you the other day about the complete guide, which was being released for the One Piece TCG for its first anniversary. It's called the One Piece Card Game First Anniversary Complete Guide. It seems wonderful. The problem is, and it is a bit of a problem, was a bit of a problem as far as I'm concerned, is that they kind of told us this was coming and then just didn't tell us what the promos were. And I cannot be the only one that finds that a little bit sad. I want to know what the promos are, ladies and gentlemen. We knew it was coming with 2 promo cards. We didn't know what those promo cards were. We now do know what those promo cards are, and I am absolutely delighted. So let's start off with the least exciting of them. It's Monkey D. Luffy. Now, to be clear, when I say least exciting, I don't mean bad card. I mean, it's an alternate art of the one I showed you t'other day. Cool card, don't get me wrong. And, I'll explain again in a moment briefly, but I told you the other day how this can actually be a, legit relevant card. It's a very cool card. It's Gear 5 Luffy. Lovely. It's just, we saw this one. Now, it's the same card that's being given away on One Piece Day over in Japan, with the big difference being that it very clearly has alternate art, which I find really, really interesting. Because, obviously, they want to be selling this book, right? So they're giving 2 exclusive promos in the book. It makes perfect sense it would be alternate art in the book. I get that. What confuses me, however, is the fact that, does that mean the art we saw the other day is only going to be used at One Piece Day? Does that mean this is going to be a really awkward card to pick up? The answer is I don't know. The good news is this is like the week before I go to Japan. I'll be going to many, many, many card shops. I will find it somewhere. I will buy it. I will have this card. But then we'll have the alternate art in with the anniversary book. As it stands at the moment, One Piece Day gives you the first artwork, and then the anniversary book gives you the other art. That is the way it stands at the moment. We'll have to wait and see if anything changes, but that could be interesting depending on how many are actually printed for One Piece Day and how hard they are to find. The anniversary book, I should say, that went up on Amazon Japan. That's been really easy to pre-order, so I don't think that's going to be even remotely hard to get hold of. Cool. So what is the card? Well, look, it's a vanilla card, which generally isn't very exciting. We've got 10 cost, 12,000 power, counter plus 1,000. The thing is, this actually becomes exciting because it's got 12,000 power. And the fact of the matter is, 12,000 power cards are extremely rare, ladies and gentlemen. They are extremely rare. To put it simply, we just generally don't have very many of them. At all. It is extremely rare to get any 12,000 power cards. This is only the 4th one we've ever seen in the history of the game. We had the purple Kaido from OP01. We had the blue Kaido from OP04. And then we had the yellow Charlotte Lin from OP03. That's it. In the first 4 sets and 10 starter decks, and yes, I know we haven't seen all the cards from starter deck 10, but we've seen the 3 super rares, or at least 3 of the super rares. There could actually be a 12,000 power character in there, but they've shown us that the headline card, so to speak, and I'm just going out on a limb and saying I don't think there's one in there, but there could be. And after all of that, we've got 3. So the fact that we got a 12,000 power character at all is big. And yes, it's a purple 12,000 power 10 cost character like Kaido. The thing is, this has counter plus 1,000, Kaido has no counter. Now, Kaido does have on-play Don -6 if your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates type, KO all characters other than this character, which is clearly a phenomenal skill. We've seen decks using this to great effect. But if your leader isn't Animal Kingdom Pirates, then they're both skillless, but this has counter plus 1,000. So yes, I know it's a vanilla card, but don't sleep on this one, ladies and gentlemen. I think this could be a legitimately good card that sees a bit of play. I'm not calling it broken or game breaking or anything stupid like that, but I absolutely am saying that I think this could be pretty good. Now, I told you that 2 of the 12,000 power characters we'd seen so far are Kaido. Well, the other promo coming here is Kaido. This is not a 12,000 power Kaido, I'm afraid, but it is a Kaido nonetheless. And what we've got here is a brand new card. It's not an alternate art. It is brand new, mechanically unique, and can only be found in the anniversary book. I did do the translation myself, incidentally. I have checked with, Google Translate, but I feel very good about the translation here. But I haven't actually checked with any humans yet, so I still feel very good about my translation. 8 cost, 10,000 power. If there are 10 Don cards on your opponent's field, this character cannot be KO'd. Now, the wording here is actually very, very important. It says 10 Don on your opponent's field, it must be exactly 10. Now, as it stands at the moment, the rules of the game say you cannot have more than 10 Don on the field, you only have 10 Don in your Don deck. But I've played enough TCGs for enough years to know almost every rule that any card game puts down will, at some point, be broken by some card in some way. So, just to be clear, there is a chance in the future that there are cards which allow you to have more than 10 Don on the field. This would then cease to operate. Not relevant now, could be in the future. The other thing which is extremely relevant, it says this character cannot be KO'd. And that's all it says. Which means it can't be KO'd in battle, and it can't be KO'd by card effects. It cannot be KO'd in any way, shape, or form. Now, there is going to come a point against a lot of decks where they've just got their 10 Don out. And when they've got their 10 Don out, this is here, like, forever. Sure, there are a bunch of purple cards, like the Kaido we saw a moment ago, that do Don minus and let you shuffle Don back in, which could actually be a weird strategy to use, using your Don minus effects to prevent you from ever having 10 Don on the field, to make sure your opponent's Kaido is never invincible. But this is one of those cards that actually made me go and look back at the play sheet. That little play sheet we all used when we first learned the game. I went and had a look at that when I was recording this video. Because I needed to double check whether putting Don out was mandatory or not. It is. During your Don phase, place 2 Don cards on the top of your Don deck in your cost area face up. It is not optional, it is mandatory, which makes a very big difference. Because if it was optional, then what you would be able to do is essentially get to 9 Don on the field, or maybe 8 if you went second. And if you were worried about Kaido, you could then just stop putting Don out. That is not an option, ladies and gentlemen. You have to go and put your Don out, at least according to the play sheet. And it's never been a question I've asked before, because why would you not put your Don out? Don is what you use to pay for cards. The idea of not putting your Don out is ridiculous because that's how you do stuff. It's silly to not put your Don out. So, yes, some decks will be able to shuffle their Don back in and keep themselves at like 8 or 9 Don to prevent this Kaido from being invincible. But against a lot of decks, you get to turn 5 if they went second, turn 6 if they went first, and all of a sudden this Kaido is like legit full-on invincible. Bearing in mind it's got 10,000 power. This is going to be a character that you want to be attacking with, maybe even loading up with Don and attacking, and your opponent has to block or they have to counter. Now, I suppose one more little thing which is quite important. It says cannot be KO'd. It does not say cannot be returned to your hand or put into the deck, etc., etc. The thing is, you are an 8 cost. So Dracul Mihawk's seen a bunch of play, but that puts a character of a cost of 7 or less to the bottom of the owner's deck. You're an 8 cost, so that's not gonna work. 3,000 Worlds, very good card, sees a whole bunch of play in blue decks. That's a character of a cost of 5 or less to the bottom of the owner's deck. That's not going to work. I mean, there are some that do. Gum Gum Red Rock, for instance, from OPO4, that will return a character to the bottom of its owner's deck. So your opponent can do stuff like that. But my point is, most people aren't playing these cards. And even if they are, they tend to be kind of expensive and awkward. So this seems like one that's going to stay around, ladies and gentlemen. This seems like one that's going to stay around and be good. I love this. There's no counter, which makes me a little sad, but it's so good it can't have a counter. When a card gets too good, you have to take the counter away just to stop it being full-on broken. At least make your opponent's deck bad at countering if they're going to play it. But oh my word, ladies and gentlemen, this is cool. I love it. I've already got this book on order. If you haven't, might I suggest you do so. Because the book's going to be amazing. We saw the Digimon one. That was cool. This one's going to be amazing as well. And the promos look good. Right, but I want to know what you think about all of this. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.